Maya Angelou once said, and I quote, "A woman in harmony with her spirit is like a river flowing. She goes where she will without pretense and arrives at destination prepared to be herself and only herself." Good morning, anywhere you're listening to us on OGBC 90.5 FM. I welcome you to this edition of Feminine Scope. The station is OGBC 90.5 FM. Whatever we do, we like to just bring it to the younger generation that hard work pays. We want them to learn and be motivated. I have a guest on the program today. By the way, my name is Toyin Sogbesan, and my guest today is Dr. Amina Badmus, a lecturer in the microbiology department, food and industrial microbiology at the Federal University of Agriculture, FUNAB in Abeokuta. It's nice to have you on this program.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm really happy to have you.
Thank you.
So let's meet you. Who is Amina?
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
I'm Amina Badmus. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Microbiology, Federal University of Agriculture in Abeokuta. And of course, would I say I'm a Gen Z, but I'm a millennial. I was born in the late 80s.
Okay.
And I think that's about it.
No, that's not about it. You are from family of how many who were your parents always growing up really like you.
Okay, thank you so much. I actually grew up in Lagos, Isolo to be precise, Jakonde Estate, Okiafa Isolo, and we're just two from my parents.
Okiafa Isolo. I know that place. Where we used to do holiday.
Exactly.
I used to do my vacation.
Oh, really?
And we'll go to the sawmill there and all that.
My dad is Mr. Adeyemi Hiziaku Balogun. He's a chartered accountant. He was a chartered, or he's still a chartered accountant, really, but because he's retired from the Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority in Okoba, Agege. And my mom was a banker. She retired, and we're just two in the family. I have an elder sister. I'm the youngest. But my mom had so many children, so we were so many while growing up in the house. Like, there was never a moment where we're just four. It's either we are 6 or 7 or 8, because, mom has so many children that she's fostering. And she's fostering so many children. And in 2009, I went to Olabisi Onabanjo University. I finished from Olabisi Onabanjo University at Gowoye. I studied microbiology. Then immediately after my BSc, I got married in 2009 to my husband, and I came here. When I came to Abeokuta through marriage, because I'm
from
a Lagos girl.
Yeah,
from
Lagos. From Center of Excellence to the Gateway State.
To the Gateway State.
Another thing.
Exactly. But for the first 2 weeks,
we have more efficiency.
No, for the first 2 weeks, I cried. I'm like, what am I doing here? But now I'm really used to it. I really don't want to go back to Lagos anymore.
You see yourself now.
I know, right?
Because life is easy.
It is. It is.
And you say you want to get somewhere in 10 minutes, you are there in 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Unlike
that's right.
your so-called
Lagos, I know.
Lagos.
I know.
Okay,
yes, sir.
But sometimes we also want to come and experience the hustle and bustle.
Exactly.
When it's party time, I like to be in Lagos.
Because Lagos people sure knows how to throw a party.
But when you need rest,
yes,
come to Ogun State. And
I tell you,
no 5 a.m. 4:30.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. So how is life in Ogun State and life in Lagos State?
Really, life in Ogun State, initially I thought it was too slow for me. I thought it was too slow, and people are not as sharp as I really want to be, but I think this is the ideal life.
Your life.
I tell you, I don't have to leave home around 3:30 or 4 a.m. just to get to where I'm going, or leaving my house to Funab. At times I just spend like 40 minutes, 30 minutes to school, and I think it's been very, very wonderful.
Great. Let's chronicle the schools that you attended.
Yes, ma'am.
From primary up to the university. You just told me you attended Olabisi Onabanjo University.
Yes, ma'am.
Your primary school and growing up in Lagos, doing primary and secondary school.
Growing up in Lagos, it was really fun, apart from the fact that, because we're kids, we don't really know what our parents were going to. We just know we had to go to school and come back. So I went to Grand Mate Nursery and Primary School, Isolo. It's just around the area. So we walked to school every morning and get back home. It was really a serene environment. Nice. It's one of the private schools then in Isolo. And, from there, I moved to Muslim Girls High School, Ijebode, for my secondary school. It was facilitated by one of my aunts. She has somebody there that, you can go to Muslim Girls High School, and it was really the best decision that was made for me. I was a boarder, so It was really, really good. All my time in Ijebu. So from my life in Ijebu, I was thinking, yeah, Ogun State is not bad. So,
but you were still in the boarding school.
I was still in the boarding school.
You have had the real feel of Ogun State while in the boarding
exactly.
school.
But my teachers then were always looking very vibrant, and one of my best teachers, Mrs. Yusuf, she was always looking very vibrant and pleasant, and she was always talking about Lagos and Ijebu. They were like, oh, okay, but until I experienced it myself. Then after secondary school, I gained admission into Olabisi Onabanjo University. I go away.
Now love Ijebu side.
I now love Ijebu side. I now love Ijebu side. So I studied microbiology. Then immediately after the BS, I got married. So
you didn't work at all before you got married?
No, I didn't work at all before I got married. I was actually looking for a job, immediately. But because my husband is internship here, he's a medical doctor. Okay. So it was just like, at this internship here, that we would love to get married. Because once they cross the internship here, it's really always difficult to focus on getting married. And so it was still kind of, I was thinking, should I not? But my parents encouraged me, yeah, you are young, you can go, it's fine. So I got married, but on the condition that it won't deter you from doing everything you want to do. Because I'm not the kind of person that would just like, okay, I like to be in the academic settings. So just to get married and
You've always loved to be in the
I've
academic.
always loved to be in the academic setting. In fact, there was this, my friend, her name is Bakis, she was reminding me that when we were young, we were like 6, 7, we were walking down from school, primary school. I said, Dadapo, can you remember you said, I'll be a lecturer one day. I want to teach people. I couldn't remember, like, no. Like, so.
And it eventually came to be.
Eventually came to be. So when I got married 2009, my mother-in-law, Mrs. Fausat Badmus, she used to be the secretary to the VC, UNAB. So she was just like, okay, what next? After service, what do I do? She just obtained the MSc form for my master's from that. Instead of sitting around, since she has seen that I like to be in academics, so I just started my master's at the Federal University of Agriculture. Yes, at FUNAB.
But you're already married then?
I was already married. Okay. I was already
with
married.
Kids?
I have a kid.
That time.
So the kid, I was always living out with my mother-in-law, with her grandma. Then I'll go to class. She will wait for me because she was working there. So it was kind of not too easy because I had to go out of class, breastfeed, do this. But people didn't know because they were like, didn't think I was married or have not talk of having a child.
You look like a Fulani kid.
Yes, I know.
And with your is it hijab?
Yes, with my hijab.
With your hijab, you really look like Fulani. When you now said.
Yes.
So we thank God for the marriage that is blessed with kids and your husband too.
Yes, ma'am.
In all this, you didn't have any work experience. You just went straight into academics at FUNAB. How has it been? Taking up appointment for the first time. Yes.
I wouldn't say I didn't have a work experience, but I didn't have the work experience that I was supposed to have because I would say during my NYSC, I taught for a bit, just the 1 year mandatory NYSC.
Where did you have that?
It was in Ogun State here in Abeokuta. So it wasn't as if I was teaching university students, but it was just secondary school students.
You schooled in Ogun State. You served in Ogun State. How come? Because you were married?
Because I was married. Okay. So because I got married immediately after graduation, so when we were being recruited or mobilized for NYSC, I just had to present my marriage certificate and I was posted to Ogun State.
Why did you decide to get married immediately after school?
Well, it wasn't my plan actually, but my husband was like, I think this is the best time for him and if I don't mind. So I had to consult, talk to my mom and dad, about work and everything. I would like hope. But my mom assured me that, well, they've seen my husband to be a very good man and even without me working or that they think he will step up and they would never leave me because and my mother-in-law has been the ever supportive woman. So
that man loves you.
He did. So nobody left me for a single second during
You're a fine girl. Nobody will want to lose you to another person. So the man knew what he was doing. That I won't allow her to go. Before her eyes will open.
Exactly.
Before her eyes will open. Okay, but to the glory of Almighty Allah, you are where you are.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
How is the marriage?
Yeah, it's been wonderful. Of course, every marriage has its ups and downs, but it's been wonderful.
How old were you when you got married?
I was 22.
You were 22?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, You can hear that now. I think we have a lesson to learn from that. There's always a lesson to learn. Some people will say, that's too early for any lady to get married. Why? But it wasn't too early for you. And your parents supported you both ways.
Both ways.
Your parents-in-law and
my parents.
Because both of you were serious and they felt you were ripe enough
to get married.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, sir.
So what will you advise this generation? Getting older or the earlier the better?
Due to my experience, I would have said, okay, the earlier the better. Really, even the biological clock of ladies, is always ticking and is continually ticking, and they have to be like, get married early. But I would say now I'm indifferent. I really would just want them to take their time. If you are ready, be ready. But if you are not, then just take your time. In as much as, getting married early is really good. You have your kids early, because my kids are as tall as me. One is like taller than I am.
Don't be like their young older sister.
Exactly, older sister. Even in school, they were like, is that your sister? Is that your sister? I'm like, no, that's my mom. No, that's your sister. Then, the joy of getting married and giving birth to your kids early and raising them so that you guys can grow
just
together.
Be like 22 or 23
exactly,
years
older than exactly. I'm 23 years older than two girls.
Two girls.
Yeah, two girls.
You were two girls from your
parents. From my parents, I gave birth to two girls. Exactly.
What a coincidence.
But I would really want the younger generation to, when they are ready and they see that, okay, this man they want to get married to is really good, and they have to seek advice first, because they might not see, love might be so blinded by love. I'm like, okay, yeah, this man is good, but they have to seek advice before delving into it and know if they are ready at that time, younger or older.
Away from this issue, marital or whatever, perhaps I should put you in between the older and the new generation, the Gen Z.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to look at life of this generation and life of, let's say, your own parents, for instance. You are in between.
Yes,
your own parents. What marks the major difference? And why is this so? What did those older generation, what did they do that this generation need to learn from? Three generations now. Your parents, your own, and then those that are coming behind you.
There are a lot of things to learn from the older generation. It just amuses me of how back then, while growing up, we think these people are too strict, these people are wicked, they don't even understand, they don't show love, because the older they have this tough love that most people, you can't tell my parents I love you, I'm like, I love you back. No. Because, why are these people so tough? Why do they have this tough love? But they add something more than love in them. They are not selfish, they give it their all. The older generations, especially the generation of our parents, they give it their all and they pass that on to us. Because I'm always seeing everywhere, or I think kids after 1989, they're always saying they are the saner ones. But from 1990, oh my God, I think things have generated to extent where we can't even undo them anymore. So from the older generation, I think we should learn patience, we should learn love, we should learn commitment, and the new generation should learn what loyalty is and how to really take care of themselves and the generations coming. They shouldn't always make it about themselves, because it's really, really rampant that this generation, even some of our own millennial generation, they just make everything about themselves. It has to be me first, you have to be me first. This thing is always going, I have to take care of myself first, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of another person, but don't make it, everything should not be about you. That's what the older generation do not, because I've seen it from my mom, I've seen it from my mother-in-law. Getting married very young, I thought maybe my mother-in-law would be like, everything we hear about mother-in-laws and mom, but it wasn't like that. She took me in, and it was just the best decision. She wasn't selfish. She assists me with every little thing.
Wow.
Every little. I can just go give her the kids. I'll just go and do my thing. No matter the time I come back, even I'll get back and meet my food on the table, and I was thinking, can I do this for somebody? I've learned from the best, from my mom and from her. So, part of me will just always do that to my kids too, and just tell them, but they don't take nonsense. That is what, because, this new generation, we are all about easy parenting. We're always like rubbing hands on our kids, and okay, no, don't do that. But one eye like this from the old generation, you will reset. Though there are, people that went astray, during our parents' time training us, but it's not as much as what we have now. you then not see people coming or parents coming and you just walk past them and not greet them, even if they don't know you. They will call you. You have to. They will call you back to correct. There are so many people taking care of kids then, but now it's just the selfishness, just me alone. And I think my generation and the next should be able to emulate that. Embody patience, love, and not being selfish. I think that's the main thing. Yeah.
You said something earlier on,
yes,
and that you had to confide in your parents and even your mother-in-law. You discussed with them.
Yes,
you sought their advice,
yes,
and it paid off,
yes,
because you had a little bit of wisdom. But let me carry my parents. How can parents get used or be assured of the trust of their children? How do parents understand even their own children? Because there are some parents, much as we're complaining about this Gen Z, to whom much is given, much is expected. Are they being given enough for them to now reciprocate and say that, oh, I can build confidence in this person? What are we not doing right as the older generation? What is the older generation not doing right enough for this generation to now confide in them?
Thank you, Ma. Like I said, in as much as we praise the old generation so much that they are not selfish, but I started by saying they have this tough love, and at times most of it really didn't resonate with me too while growing up, because I needed to tell somebody I love you and you tell me you love me back. I needed to tell somebody, okay, I passed through these things in school. Even discussing my marriage with my parents, it was just because she got married early too. My mom got married early. My mother-in-law got married early. My mother-in-law got married at 19. My mom got married at 20.
So you
exactly.
kept increasing the pace.
So I
got
kept
married at 22.
At 22. That would sit well with them because they actually got married at that age. So now looking at parents that did not get married at that, they'll be like, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. So, but they all in common, they still have this very, very tough love that so many of the Gen Zs or the millennials do not trust them. Just because at that time, really, it was not as if I was really, really, really close to my mom. But because I knew, okay, she was in that shoe, she did that, let me just go to her and tell her. And of course, because after BSc, they were like, where is it? I just went, okay, this guy is ready for marriage, and am I not too young? No, you're not too young. And it just, exactly. So it just sat down well with her. But what do we make of parents that did not get married early? Their children might not even be able to go to them like, okay, I want to get married, because they are really not, what they would tag the cool parents. Our parents are really strict. I wouldn't lie to you. They are really, really strict.
Do they need to bring it down?
They need to bring it down a lot. They need to bring it down a top notch. Because really, they didn't bring it down during our own time, but we rose through it. But now, if it is not brought down, there are so many cases of these children committing suicide.
Exactly.
Even in my school, there are like 2 or 3 people, when I just got the appointment, suicide. Why? Because I had this carryover and I can't go home to tell my parents. Wow. And she just drank sniper and died. That's to say, parents are really still too very harsh, very hardened with the kids. So I think the older generations need to bring it down a top notch. And the trust of these Gen Zs would be, they will build the trust in their parents and be able to communicate. Mine was just quote and unquote, because I knew they did it, and of course it was going to resonate with them.
So you use that.
Exactly.
Yes, that's interesting. I'm so much enjoying the conversation.
Good to be here. Thank you so much.
So the program is Feminine Scope, and the station is OGBC 90.5. My guest is Dr. Amina Badmus, lecturer, microbiology department, food and industrial microbiology at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, FUNAB.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you meet your husband? Who is he?
Okay.
I'm interested in that part. At 22, you got married.
Yes.
You were in school.
I was in school.
When you got married, was that what you were sent to go and do? Let me hear the
story. Our story is just like divine. Because first of all, my husband is Dr. Tajuddin Adiolu Badmus. He's a medical doctor and he works with the Federal Medical Center, Idiaba, Abeokuta. We attended Olabisi Onabanjo University together.
Wow.
Yes, we had different campuses. Of course, the medical students are always in Shagam, and the non-medical students, especially the sciences, we are in Agowe. But we met through a mutual friend, Fauzia Yusuf, the daughter of my best teacher. Yes.
In school?
In school.
In secondary or in the university?
She was my teacher in the university, exactly.
Yes, okay.
So, but Fauzia came to which I just saw, I'm like, are you Mrs. Yusuf's daughter? we met at the university. We're like, yes, we became friends. Because Fauzia too, she's a pharmacist, so she went to Agowoye and met my husband, and they discussed. And at that time, well, I was in 400 level before I even started having anything to do with dating and stuff like that. And Fauzia just said, yeah, she has this friend and I think you would like her. Was talking to my husband. I was like, okay, let me see. So my husband came down to our go. Like, I know you. I know you when you were in 100 level. I saw you just walk past me. And, you know, it was at that time they were preparing to go back to Shagam. That ever since he just had the vision, like, oh, this girl, that he didn't know that he would come back to. Exactly. So we met through a mutual friend in school. And we just stayed there for like about a year. And yes, and
and you got married.
And we got married.
And how is Fauzia?
Fauzia is fine. She's not here. She's not in Nigeria now.
Oh, is she married?
She's married too. She got married like 3 years after me too.
Okay, 3 years.
Yes,
that's really interesting.
Yes, sir.
So this is wishing you both the best.
Thank you so much.
Your children are grown-ups now.
They are.
For you to have, you got married what year?
2009.
2009.
They are 15 and 13
they
now.
Are teenagers already.
Yes, they are. They are.
That's great. That's great. So thank you so much. Do you party?
No, for a Lagos girl, no, I don't. I really don't like to.
And you're a Lagos girl,
exactly, for Bukaba. You know, anytime they have parties in the house, I'm always upstairs. And my mom will be like, "Hello, Shomode, what is wrong with you?" But I don't know. So I think that is why this Ogun State life fits me so much.
So what type of music do you listen to?
I really don't have a specific music. Maybe because of the religious, you know, so I really try not to listen to, you know, secular music like that. But if at all, I would listen to music, not secular, you know, it's just basically and nasheeds, you know, from Islamic singers that, you know, like Zain Bika. It has this really good music that we just like, you know, try to listen to.
So what do you want me to play now? What type of music should I play for the purpose of this program?
I don't know if you have the Zain Bika I like, but
my producer will have. There's no music piece that she doesn't have.
Okay.
That is Idayat. Idayat will not have that.
Zara.
She must have it.
Yes, please. I would really love it.
I'll leave Idayat and Amina to sort that out on their own.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Hey little bird, so way up high, light up the sky with your colored design. Tell me who made you and I, me to walk and you to fly. The little bird said, that's my Lord. The little bird said, that's my Lord. The little bird said, that's my Lord, Allah, the creator of us all. Allahu Akbar, our creator. There's no one greater than Allah. So why do we stand tall, too proud to recognize what's right before our eyes? Signs from the Lord. Hey alligator, lay so still. Who's your maker? By whose will do you crawl and do you swim? Who controls everything? The alligator said, that's my Lord. The alligator said, that's my Lord. The alligator said, that's my Lord, Allah, the creator of us all. Hey, king of the jungle, the mighty lion, top of the food chain, no denying. But who is the one that you rely on, life or death? Who is deciding? The lion said, that's my Lord. The lion said, that's my Lord. The lion said, that's my Lord, Allah, the creator of us all. Allahu Akbar, our creator. There's no one greater than Allah. So why do we stand tall, too proud to recognize what's right before our eyes? Signs from our Lord. Hey my brother, hey my sister, see yourself as self-sustainer. But don't you see what will come later? We all return to the Creator. Then we'll say, that's my Lord. Then we'll say, that's my Lord. Then we'll say, that's my Lord. Oh Allah, forgive us all.
So thank you so much for finding time to be on this program.
Thank you so much for having me.
And to your lovely husband too. Just say hello to him.
I will. I'll do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome. So this is how far we'll go on this edition of Feminine Scope on OGBC 90.5 FM. Again, I thank my guest, Dr. Amina Badmus, lecturer at the Microbiology Department, Food and Industrial Microbiology, Federal University of Agriculture, FUNAB, Abeokuta. I also thank my producer, Temilade Tijani, assisted by Fumilayo Akintoye. My studio manager is Yemi Serikudi, and my name is Toyin Sogbesan. You call me TS. Do enjoy your weekend. Good morning.